Welcome to the chaos.
Welcome back to RabidKaos and another episode of Alchemy Factory. Just want to start off this episode by saying I appreciate how much support you guys have been giving the series. You guys are definitely viewing it a lot more than I expected, and I really appreciate that. And there's two people in particular, especially recently, who have really supported it with some comments and giving the vote that I asked for with the points that we had, and I happened to do both of the things they asked for. Enterprise had wanted alchemy and shop profit, so I didn't do the shop profit, but I mean, this is why. We got plenty of money, and you can see it's coming back every other. So we got more money than we're gonna have space for. I could build a huge bank up, but I don't think we're at that point quite yet. We're getting close though. We did do the alchemy levels a little bit ago. I think it was last episode when we were trying to get our fuel going better for the steam. We also increased our fuel efficiency and fertilizer efficiency. Not quite to the same level, but close. And that was the vote of, I'm going to mess this name up horribly, I'm sorry, Janeja Akola. They've been commenting on the videos a lot lately and giving a lot of good tips and ideas of what we could do. One of the things that they both had in common, actually, was regarding our last build when it came to using our advanced Athenor and putting in catalysts. Now, I noticed that this was just what we had before, where we had it running down there into there. It wasn't very good. Once the Panacea had backed up, as it is right now, nothing was coming through. So I just built a whole nother fertile catalyst build, which, you know, we've had them dotted all over the place. One of the things that I wanted to do, I did cut off the flow of the fertilizers, so it wouldn't go past because we had nothing else to use it for at the time. But one of the things I wanted to do is prepare this area for what we're going to do next. But while I'm doing this, again, thank you all for all the support you've given me in this series and in others, if you're watching multiple. It's definitely a lot more than I expected so early. But for all those who aren't subscribed yet, I'd appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button, add in to our small community. We're slowly creeping up to 100 followers, and the amount of time that it's taken is what's really surprised me. And always, as always, leave a like on the video. And now that all this is running, and we got our fertilizer going down again, we're going to get into what our plan for the day is. And our plan for the day is the Mercuries. So we're going to research that. But as we can see, it takes obsidian. Oh no, we're not going to get into that yet. We're going to get into our Lapis. I almost forgot. We haven't started our Lapis build yet. For that, we need another advanced Athenor. And another chance to mess around with some of our items. Now, the unstable catalyst, it changes the generation possibilities. I have put it in there. It didn't seem to do a whole lot, so we're gonna set this. Where did they go? There they are. We're gonna set this for our obsidian again. Right now it's set. It's not gonna bring out any obsidian and only volcanic ash. So that's the risk you run. So, with that being said, let me clear out a lot of this inventory space out of stuff we don't need. There's one of our first diamonds. I'm going to keep that just for fun. Get rid of all that. But this is what we're going to really be doing. We need impure silver powder and we need shattered crystals. Well, this is producing our shattered crystals, and we can do something similar to what we've done here to get our shattered crystals. Our silver, impure silver powder, we know comes out of this. It goes into the impure, and we just remove that refiner. We can still have our silver going in, and we just kick our impure out. So, let's start by copying this entire build right here. And that is a lot. But we're also going to save it as blueprint so we know we have all the seeds that we're going to need. Get this up to just below the pipe in the back there. I'm not sure what's in there, but I do know we don't need it for this build. So, we'll save this as a blueprint for our silver. And we'll just find one of the silver powders down here near the bottom to put it on. Did I go past it? No, I didn't. Right there. We'll put it as a nice one. Alright, so we're going to need, well, that doesn't help us anyway, because it doesn't tell us our seeds that we need. We need 3 lavender, 2 chamomile, wood, rope, and bronze. Alright, so let's go down the floor, get our bronze. There we go. And let's go get our rope. And we will get, there we go. We will get our wood. Alright. So it looks like the Mercury's done researching, but obviously that's not something we're too concerned about right now. It seems like we're going to be getting into that in the next episode, because this may take a minute. Alright, so let's bring out the seeds. I need the seeds. I have already closed off the rest of this floor, started building up for our next. We need 2 lavender. That's not lavender. That's lavender. Let me make sure. 2 lavender? 3 lavender, 2 chamomile. 1, 2, 3. And our chamomile. 1, 2. Alright. Let's get this thing going again. Now we don't want it to be in the way of anything, and we want to leave some space between the last build, so we'll throw that there. That seems like a good spot for it. Why not? Now, we do need to run our heaving steam pipe along. Throw that down that way. And bring it all the way to the end. And connect our steam pipes here. No. That's not where I wanted you. I'll get it one of these times, I promise. Let me get it all the way over the wall first. There we go. So that's 1. And here's number 2. Alright. And as you can see, our heating problems are a thing of the past. All this will start to build up. And it'll give us what we need. Now, the thing we need to get rid of is that. So. Oh, that's not what I wanted. There we go. And we'll get this up and over. That there. Turn that around. That there. And this will come up to here. So, there we are. That'll be our silver taken care of. Now we need to do the shattered crystals. Well, we can do it up until this point. We've got 2 going into there to that, which gives us that. But here's where we're going to make the change. Here's where we're going to make things a little bit different. And I don't want that section as part of it at all. Ooh, this isn't good. I'll grab this one instead, because it'll still work. Alright, perfect. Let me make sure I'm getting to the everything we need. That should do it. We'll confirm that. We are short bronze and copper. That's an easy fix. I want bronze over here. Copper's over here too. Get that. That one we know is almost out. I do have another one here. There we go. Now this is going to be to do the lapis to sell. When it comes time to do the lapis for our Mercury, we may be doing it a little bit differently. But I'd like to be able to do it this way, so everyone has a chance to see what it's like. I gotta save the blueprint for shattered crystal. There's an A in there. And let's see what we can find here. There we go. And we'll confirm that. Now, obviously, gotta go back in there, see what plants we need. 4 gentian, 2 lavender. That's an easy way to keep track of the seeds you need beforehand, because sometimes you end up forgetting exactly what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2. Alright. And then we'll rotate that. If we put this, well, I guess that's not terrible, because now we can just hook the heat. Oh, well then, I guess we hook the heat up right there. Alright, and what are you? Are you just a straight pipe? Yes. And we get to use that little G trick to get rid of all 13 pipes. Alright. Now, what we know is we do need this piece to an extent. But I don't want it facing that way, so I guess we're going to do things a little differently here. Because that's going to come out there. We can do that there. Oh no, we can't. We can do that there. And put that there. Our belts to there and there. And now here's where we're going to change it up a little bit. Now we're going to do it this way. And this should be giving us our shattered crystals. Obviously, this is going to take a little while to get going. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. What else does this need? Copper powder, but... Let me go look at the back of that one and figure out what is going on there. Because I, for the life of me, can't figure out why we have that whole belt going through there. Over... here. Oh, that was for the catalysts. That's silly of me. That's easy enough to fix. Now, I don't think... Yeah, I just had that one. Right? Yes. Alright. So that is easy enough. We'll just send this down this way as well. Figure out how we want to connect over to here. Maybe that there. That there. Oh, that's too high. Alright. Now we're getting somewhere. I don't even want that there. That's silly. Alright, we'll get it. Yeah, using these catalysts to double the output on everything is awesome. Get rid of all that. I wonder. No, okay. It only works on belts and pipes to do the whole G thing. Alright, so that should solve those problems. Perfect. Then we got this coming down already. Cool. That is good. It's a good start. See what money we're making while we're doing all this. I don't even remember where I'm doing that. 997. We'll put this here and throw in all these. Just for the fun of it. Organize that. Toss away that. Alright. Now, with what we're making here, I just saw you spin. Maybe we'll get it on this one. That makes 7.5 of impure, so we're getting 15 a minute out of there. Alright. That means we can make 3 of them with this. Now, how many of these are we getting? 20 a minute. So the answer is going to be 3 of them. Now, things get a little tricky here at that point. I'm going to have to start all over again because the heating inputs were wrong. Let's get ourselves our advanced ethanol again. 1, 2, 3. We'll set this for Lapis. We'll copy that over to there. Now, we need to see that this is making shattered crystals. It's also making crude shards. So, we send the shattered crystals back into the line with a... Oh, we might need some more space here. Just like we need more space here. What we need coming out of here, is a priority merger. I want this side first. Which means that this is going to have to go here. Oh no, I don't want it there. Because I'm getting crude shards out. I want it around here somewhere. So we're going to make a little bit of a change here once that shard goes through. Alright. Now it's going to come out. Yes. Priority merger. Just like that. And then we'll come and connect. There. Alright. We do have to figure out what's what, though. So, I'm going to get that. I'm going to get that. I am going to hook this up to our heat. That's not right. There we go. And then... Perfect. Alright. I'm going to put in shattered crystals and impure silver. And I am going to do that. And see what we end up with first. Probably, oh, a crude shard. Okay. So that's going to come out on the left. Which means the lapis is the middle, the crystal's the right. So let's do this all the way down. We'll do that, 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 that. Although, I suppose, that's not a lot. That's 18 a minute for all of this. Not that, not that. I don't want all of those gone either. So we'll make sure not to select those. We'll just run this all together. In which case, we will drop it down. We will put it into a row of filters. 1, 2. So, this is going to be our shattered crystals, because it's the closest one. That'll go, come down here. And this is where we put in one of our priority mergers. There we go. And obviously we're going to do the same thing here. That comes out. That goes there. And then we will send our crude shards down through there. Here's where I need to reconnect all this. Alright. Now we got to get this up. We also need to leave space for these. We may need a whole nother one. It's kind of looking like we do. So, let's see if we can squeeze another one in here somewhere. Somehow. Blueprints. Oh, hold on a second. Do I need this? I absolutely need that. Never mind. I need so much for that. Alright. Let's get this all set up as is first, and then we will input the shattered crystals. So, we're going to need to send this up. That'll be our silver. Will go up, up, up. And we'll throw you in there. Just because. Now, we need to get all this up. We're going to send it similarly along here. Into there, and into there. So this will be our crystals. And while we're working on our potion, or our catalyst, we can start producing some of this. And then we'll send this out here for now. Send this up to join there. We'll figure out where we're sending it here in a minute. There is our first lapis. But let's see what the crystal does. It's going to come down. Yep, through here. Coming all the way around. And you know, it takes... Okay. That actually equals out. I'm actually making... Seems like I'm making 30 a minute. No, because it takes 2. Okay. And with this being duplicated, that makes it even better. So we may back up on silver eventually. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with this all backing up as long as this continues to flow. Now, while we're doing that, let's try and get our fertile catalyst running. We're going to need 11 lavender and 2 chamomile. So let's go grab that before I forget any more of it. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Throw out that crude shard, 'cause I don't have any use for it. 10, 11. Alright. And then grab the chamomile. 1, 2. 1, 2. There we go. And here we're gonna... There we go. We nailed it. Alright, so what else do we need for this? That we can get up here. Steel's downstairs, nails downstairs. Copper and bronze up here, and then the rivets on the way down. Alright. Here we go. Bronze, bronze, bronze. Copper, copper. Tip off. There we go. Rivets. Let's see if we have enough of all that stuff. One more rivet. I'm glad I checked. One more stack of rivet, I should say. I keep hitting tab instead of Q. Alright, so down in our shop area, we need nails, rope, and large wooden gears. So let's get it. Nails, rope, large wooden gears. We also need steel and wood. And let's see if we got everything with that. Alright, perfect. We got everything we need, and it does take a while to ramp up, but these catalysts, they're just a bonus, right? So we're building, the way we're building everything is based off of not having them. And honestly, with having them, it may end up breaking the system, and we're going to have to find out about that. Oh, this is going to have to kick out pretty far. What are you oh. What are you overlapping with now? There we go. Let's see, can I get it to there? No, no. There. I did not plan that through very well. Well, we're gonna send our potions through to there, and then from there we'll continue along this way. Perfect. It fits well enough. But now, oh, that was close. Did this connect? And that steam, oh wow. That is a lucky roll there. That's crazy. What about you? I don't need you here. And then G that. Alright. But there is a line somewhere over here. That is linseed oil that I need to grab off of. I believe it's you. Yes. So how do I get from you all the way over there? I guess I just drag it over, right? There shouldn't be anything in the way. Perfect. Whoa, hey, come back here. Nice. That worked out pretty good. This is going to be the lavender. We should be seeing steam on that. Yep. Yep. Question is, over here, are we seeing steam? Does not appear to be. But I also don't believe that that top one's steam. What's that bottom one? Lime water. Okay, we don't want to be hooking up to that. So, with this being the connection, we'll connect it this way. And get rid of these so we don't accidentally make a mistake. There we go. Alright. Now it's going to take a little bit for this to all filter down, fill up. But that won't be too bad. And now we can just send this over to here. Yes. Now obviously we can't run those sections, so we'll add that in. We also have to add in one there, one there, one there. Our silver is not producing at all. So we are going to have to see why that is here in a moment. But we are going to finish this part. There we go. I guess it is producing. What is the holdup? It's the copper. Of course it's copper. That takes a while. I mean, there's only so much you can do when it needs to build up. And that's my fault for kind of rushing it a little bit. But it'll get there. We are already building up Lapis. It's also somehow getting crude shards across. Why are you not sending the crude shards back? Because I didn't set the filter. That is helpful. You set the filter if you want it to be filtered out. So we'll just collect all this, get all the crude shards out, and throw them onto here when we're ready to go. Get that all organized a little bit better. For the rest of this, though, while that's... Oh, that's going to finish any moment now. I'm going to let it go. Here's a crude shard, so we'll see if that's working properly here in a minute. But I mean, we haven't been running it for that long. We already got 17 lapis. That's not too bad. I do want to find a way to make a full belt of lapis, a full belt of obsidian, you know, a full belt of everything we're going to need to be able to make that mercury right there. So, we'll figure that out. Whether it makes us 1 or it makes us 6 again, we're going to be making a full belt of all the items needed to make it. Which is part of why I built this upstairs, too. I didn't think we'd be able to fit it down here. And I don't think we would. So, it is good to know that... Why are you not going full? Oh, the gentian thing again. Next time I build a gentian build, I do need to change that up a little bit. I need to put filters so that they're all coming together. And then splitting apart after they've all come together. But that's alright. We'll get it figured out. That's fine. That one's fine. That one's fine. That one's fine. Could be better, but it's working. 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 And not working. There we go. Might take a minute, but it should kicked off. Wow. Maybe not. Maybe this is something we need to fix sooner rather than later. Huh. Interesting. It hasn't seemed to affect over here anymore, does it? This is still all running. I mean, to the point that it's all backed up and not going anywhere, so let's make that a little bit bigger. There we go. But, yeah, no, that's not the right thing. This is. I mean, it's kind of working the way it should, and this is actually why we need to be paying more attention to how we build this system when you're having stuff like gentian being involved. So typically, the best bet is to filter gentian to one side and then gentian nectar to the other. And send your third item right up the middle. Oops, I didn't want to take that. Oh well. But, that is all working. Actually, to the point that it's backed up. Wow. What's going on here? Not enough space. Why can't you go out? Why can't you go out? You're too slow. Oh no. That's a problem. We're going to duplicate that. Get rid of this. in this. We're gonna send you up from here. Alright, there we go. With that, I do need to get rid of this. We will send this down this way. And we'll find out exactly whether or not what we're doing fixes it once this is all done. So obviously not as great of a day. We only sold 2 minas, so still 54 gold is nothing to sneeze at. I'm gonna move away from here until the save stops, because that noise is just driving me nuts. I'm sure you guys are having trouble hearing me over it. So once the save is done, we'll finish fixing that, and we can tell the save is done even without the wording up there by whether or not the stuff starts moving again. So the later you get into the game, the longer these saves take, the more objects on belts it has to calculate and remember. Come on, there we go. T 9 right there. Rotate that. Alright, there we go. So it's gonna take a minute, but it'll get everything out eventually. It's gonna take a little bit. It will back up again, I have no doubt. But we'll be producing diamonds at a higher rate. Now, back to over here. Silver is our issue. Why is silver our issue? Just how long it takes to build, or to make. But, if I'm producing 15 a minute of this, each time, each one of these is 15 a minute, I should be making enough silver to keep these stocked on a regular basis. I know the shadow crystals are going to be much higher rate, and that's fine. But this should be going, and I honestly, I'm not sure why it is taking slower. Our copper is finally going in. I guess it's not great. That's probably, yeah, that's what it is. It's just the copper's not great. But as we can see, it's starting to get there. In the meantime, we'll get rid of this. We will run this belt down. But what I gotta do now is figure out how I'm gonna get it down. Because I could shoot it over, but once I get down to there, where do I go? You know what? I like the idea. I just came up with a good idea about that. So we are going to execute that idea, and you'll see it firsthand. So, boom, boom. We need this one. Come on. There. Perfect. Drop down. Here's where we gotta do things a little bit differently. Oh, that was scary. Almost went down. Now we're going to... Oh, I gotta put another one in there, I think. There we go. Alright. Copy that. Put that there. And another one there. Now, this is where I run into a problem, though, because I'm realizing that's where the diamonds go. But the problem I am realizing is that the diamonds and the obsidian end up going to the same place. That's why our diamonds are stuck there. So, how do I fix this? Well, I guess the easiest way is to do something like what I just did here. And you know what? I think that that's what I will do. I'm going to undo all of this. And I got to remember to have somewhere for the lapis to actually go. Alright. So you are... Oh. you are still gonna shoot to that one. Oh no. There we go. So that should fix that. You are going to be Lapis, but I haven't gotten you yet. You are going to be the diamonds. I will get to you right now. Oh, I didn't want to do that yet. Get rid of that. You are going to go back here. We're going to take a cannon, turn it around. And now shoot it over to here. Perfect. This one, oh gosh, I living dangerously close to the edge there. Alright, you're going to be there. You are going to go to that one with that. I could have just copied that one that's right next to it. There we go. So the diamonds will now have their own spot. Now the problem is, I don't have a place to send the lapis. So, lapis, you get your own casing now. There we go. So, that should help. We still got regular goods we can put down there. Oh, nice seeing those two fly through. There were already two, and then this guy just bought some. There we go. See that gold come out of there. There it is. That is nice to see. Alright. One more floor up. Here we go. And there goes some of our lapis heading down the belt. That is awesome. This is starting to kick up and get moving. Our fertilizer line is looking very healthy. And I know we have some space down here we could possibly use to make the Mercury, but I feel like we'd be constraining ourselves if we did that. So, next episode, the plan is definitely going to be working up here in the bright light to make our Mercury, which we will need an advanced shaper for. Making a good idea of what we got coming. We're going to need 10 minutes of everything and 100 minutes of Quicksilver. And that does not look like a fun liquid to be making. But that, I think, will be next time. And now we also know, one full belt of everything, we will get 6 of these. So, we'll need more small gears. We'll make 6 of them, just like we did with our Venus. We will have to figure out a way of how we're going to get it down to the shop. Maybe down this side. Out. Get it up onto the level above us. Down to here. And shoot it down and then shoot it down. That wouldn't be a bad idea. We get the Mercuries to here, shoot them over to there. And then from there they shoot over to their stand over there. And then we have relics everywhere. A little disorganized, but you can also think about it as, well, no matter where they're going to get things, they're going to be near a relic. When they go to check out, they're right near a relic. Impulse buy, you know? The cheapest one. So, with that all being said, I think that we'll call it an episode here. We managed to get our Lapis production up and running, albeit slowly. It is making, well, that one doesn't have anything in it, but once the potions or catalysts do go into it, we'll be making pretty much 10 a minute. So this, we're going to need this set up with the catalyst involved to do 1 Mercury. So we're going to need this whole thing 6 times. And obviously we'll be able to shrink it down a bit if need be. Compact it a little bit better. So, oh wow. Okay. Look at our Steam, up to 2.4 million. But, once again, start to do the outro, get distracted. So, if you like what you see, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, turn on notifications so you know when I've posted a video. Oh, look at that, all backed up. And we'll see you next time.